Hey there, warrior. Every morning, you make a choice that will determine the next 24 hours of your life. Most people aren't even aware they're making it. They roll out of bed, grab their phone, and let the world dictate how they feel. But there's a secret that separates those who thrive from those who simply survive. And that secret is revealed in the first few minutes after you wake up. The ancient Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journal, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, envious, and surly." But instead of feeling defeated, he used that awareness to prepare his mind for strength, not surrender. Right now, your brain is most malleable in those precious morning moments. Neuroscience proves that the first thoughts you think literally rewire your neural pathways, shaping your automatic reactions for the entire day. But most people waste this golden time scrolling social media, absorbing other people's problems, or diving straight into stress. The Stoics discovered something revolutionary. You can program your mind for success, peace, and an unshakable confidence by speaking 10 specific truths every morning. These aren't pipe dreams or fantasies. They are reality-based affirmations that sync your mind with the way the world actually works. What if tomorrow morning you woke up and felt genuinely excited for the day ahead, no matter what challenges were waiting? What if you could meet criticism, setbacks, and uncertainty with such a calm confidence that people start to wonder what you know that they don't? The ancient Greeks called this state ataraxia, an unshakable tranquility. It's a state of complete peace with yourself and your place in the world, no matter what storms are raging around you. This isn't an innate quality. It's something you build morning after morning. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn the exact words that have helped generals win battles, entrepreneurs build empires, and ordinary people transform into extraordinary versions of themselves. Each phrase is designed to dismantle a specific weakness that holds people back: fear, comparison, lack of focus, emotional reactivity, and procrastination. But here's what makes this different from anything you've tried before. These principles have been battle-tested for over 2,000 years. They worked in ancient Rome, they worked during world wars, and they will work in your life today. The only question is whether you have the discipline to use them. Before we start this transformation, I want you to do something. Hit that like button to show you're ready to take control of your mornings. In the comments, tell me your biggest morning struggle. Share this video with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel because we're building an army of people who refuse to let life happen to them. And whatever you do, don't skip a single part of this video. Each part builds on the last. If this resonates with you, type this in the comments to keep it close to your heart. I own my morning. I own my day.
I am responsible for how this day goes. The moment you accept full responsibility for your emotional state, everything changes. This isn't about blaming yourself for bad things that happen, it's about claiming the power to choose how you react to whatever life throws at you. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, discovered this truth in the most horrific circumstances. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." If someone could maintain emotional control in a concentration camp, you can maintain it in your daily life. Most people live as emotional victims. Their mood depends on traffic, the weather, other people's behavior, or their bank account. They wake up and immediately check their phone, letting notifications determine whether they feel good or bad. This is emotional slavery, and it's why most people feel powerless in their own lives. When you say to yourself, "I am responsible for how this day goes," you are declaring your independence. You are stating that your happiness, your peace, and your confidence are not for sale. You are taking possession of the one thing no one can ever take from you, your response to what happens. This doesn't mean you'll never be frustrated, upset, or sad. It means you recognize those feelings as temporary visitors, not permanent residents. You understand that while you can't control what happens to you, you are in complete control of what happens within you. The Stoic Epictetus taught that we are not disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them. Change the judgment, change the suffering. This morning's statement reprograms your brain to stop looking for emotional stability externally and start looking for emotional strength internally. Start every morning by placing your hand over your heart and saying with confidence, "I am responsible for how this day goes. My emotions are my choice. My peace is my decision. Today I choose strength over weakness, clarity over confusion, and hope over fear." Watch what happens when you stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the author of your emotional experience. You'll discover a freedom most people don't even know exists. Number 2, nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. Your peace of mind is a fortress, and you are the guard. Every morning you must decide who and what you give permission to enter your mental space. Most people leave the gates wide open, allowing every criticism, worry, and negative thought to walk right in and set up shop. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." He understood that true power is not in controlling what happens around you, but in controlling what happens within you. When you declare, "Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission," you are setting boundaries around your inner world. You are saying that your peace is not a public park where anyone can create chaos. You become the security guard of your own mind. This doesn't mean you become unfeeling or detached. It means you develop what the Stoics called the discipline of desire, the ability to remain centered despite external turmoil. You can acknowledge that someone said something hurtful without letting it define your day. You can acknowledge a setback without letting it dismantle your confidence. The secret is the pause between what happens to you and your reaction to it. There is a sacred space, a moment where you can choose. Most people react so quickly they don't even know that space exists. But when you train yourself to find that pause, you unlock your superpower. Every morning, stand in front of your mirror and say to yourself, "Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. I am the guard of my inner world. Today, I choose who and what I give access to my mind. My peace is not for sale, not for rent, and non-negotiable." Watch how differently you'll move through the world when you realize your peace is entirely in your hands. You will become unshakable. Not because nothing bad happens, but because you've learned to protect what matters most. In the comments, type, "I am the guard of my peace."
I will only focus on what I can control. The fastest way to drive yourself crazy is to try and control things that are completely outside of your power. Yet every day, millions of people spend massive amounts of mental energy worrying about other people's opinions, the weather, the economy, politics, and 1,000 other things they can't influence. Epictetus taught a core Stoic principle. Some things are within our power, while others are not. He divided everything that exists into two categories: what you can control and what you can't. Master this distinction, and you will master your life. What can you actually control? Your effort, your attitude, your words, your actions, your reactions, and your decisions. That's it. Everything else, other people's behavior, the past, the future, natural disasters, stock market crashes, your boss's mood, is entirely outside your influence. Most people have this backward. They spend 80% of their mental energy trying to control the uncontrollable and neglect what they can actually change. They worry about what might happen next month, ignoring what they can do today. They fret about what someone will think instead of focusing on who they want to become.
When you wake up and say, "Today I will only focus on what I can control," you are making a strategic decision to invest your limited mental resources where they can actually make a difference. You're choosing effectiveness over anxiety, action over worry, and influence over helplessness. The Greek Stoics had a powerful exercise called the circle of control. Imagine everything in your life is in one of three circles: what you have total control over, what you have some influence on, and what you have zero control over. Your job is to direct 90% of your attention to the first circle, 10% to the second, and 0 to the third. This warning practice changes everything. Instead of waking up feeling overwhelmed by everything that's wrong in the world, you wake up feeling energized by what you can fix in your sphere of influence. Instead of helplessness, you feel focus. Instead of scattered anxiety, you experience laser-like clarity. Stand tall, look yourself in the eye, and say with conviction, "Today, I will only focus on what I can control. I will not waste energy on things outside my power. My attention is directed toward my actions, my effort, and my reactions. This is where my power lives."
My value is not measured by today's outcomes. Your worth as a human being is completely independent of whether you get a promotion, win an argument, or have a perfect day. Yet most people tie their self-worth to their daily results, riding a roller coaster that never stops, soaring when things go well and crashing when something goes wrong. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, an advisor to emperors and one of the wealthiest men in Rome, learned this lesson the hard way. When he was exiled by Emperor Caligula and later forced to commit suicide by Nero, he realized that external achievements are temporary, but internal worth is eternal. He wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Your worth transcends any single outcome." Society programs us to measure ourselves by our productivity, our bank account, our relationship status, or our accomplishments. We wake up thinking we have to prove our value by what we do by nightfall. This is exhausting and ultimately soul-crushing because it makes your self-worth dependent on things that are partially or totally out of your control. When you tell yourself, "My value is not measured by today's outcomes," you are liberating yourself from the performance trap. You are declaring that your worth is innate, not earned. You existed before today's challenges and will exist after today's victories or defeats. Your essence is non-negotiable based on temporary circumstances. This doesn't mean you stop trying or stop caring about results. It means you decouple your effort from your identity. You can strive for excellence without tying your self-respect to whether you achieve it. You can be disappointed by a bad outcome, but not devastated by it. You can celebrate success without needing it for your sense of worth. The ancient Stoics understood that true confidence comes from knowing who you are at your core, regardless of what's happening on the surface. They called outcomes preferred indifference, things you'd prefer to have, but that don't define your worth. Getting the job is preferable, but not getting it doesn't make you less valuable. Every morning, remind yourself of this liberating truth. My value is not measured by today's outcomes. I am valuable because I exist, not because I achieve. Today, I will give my best effort, knowing my worth is not on trial. Success or failure, I remain worthy of love, respect, and dignity.
I will act, not just intend. The gap between good intentions and actual action is where dreams go to die. Every morning, millions of people wake up with beautiful plans to start a business, call a friend, go to the gym, or write a book. But by evening, they've done nothing but think about doing something. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, let this thought be present: I am rising to a man's work." He knew that intentions without action are just a sophisticated form of procrastination. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's the ability to close the gap between thought and deed. While most people are perfecting their plans, successful people are perfecting their execution. While most are waiting for the right moment, successful people are creating the right moment through action. When you declare, "I will act," not just intend, you are committing to becoming a person of action, not a person of endless preparation. You are choosing to be someone who does things imperfectly over someone who plans perfectly but never starts. The philosophy of Stoicism is built on a simple principle: virtue is action. It's not enough to know what is right, you must do what is right. It's not enough to understand wisdom, you must live wisely. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Your morning statement creates what psychologists call an implementation intention, a specific plan that links your goals to your behavior. Instead of saying, "I want to work out," you say, "I will act on my health goals." Instead of, "I should call my parents," you say, "I will act on my commitment to my family." The moment you shift from intending to acting, everything changes. You stop being a spectator in your own life and become the protagonist. You stop waiting for permission and start creating opportunities. You stop hoping things will get better and you start making them better. Stand up right now and make this commitment. I will act, not just intend. Today I choose action over analysis, progress over perfectionism, and execution over dreaming. My intentions mean nothing without my actions. Today I act.
Every challenge is an opportunity to get stronger. The same fire that melts butter forges steel. Every morning, you get to decide who you will be when life turns up the heat. Most people see obstacles as a punishment, but the wise see them as the gym where character is forged and strength is honed. James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy admiral who survived 7 years of torture as a POW in Vietnam, credited his survival to Stoic philosophy. He said, "You must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality." He understood that challenges don't break you, they reveal what you're made of and give you a chance to become stronger. Right now, you are facing something difficult: financial pressure, a relationship struggle, a health issue, or career uncertainty. Your natural instinct might be to wish these problems would disappear, curse your bad luck, or feel sorry for yourself. But what if these challenges aren't happening to you, but for you? The ancient Stoics had a revolutionary perspective on hardship. They saw it as a training exercise designed by fate to develop character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every challenge holds the seeds of an opportunity if you have the eyes to see it. When you tell yourself every challenge is an opportunity to get stronger, you are completely reframing your relationship with difficulty. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become a student of life. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" This doesn't mean you should enjoy suffering or seek out problems. It means you recognize that struggle is the price of growth, and growth is the price of a meaningful life. A muscle only gets stronger when it meets resistance. Character only develops when it meets challenges. Every morning, prepare your mind for what the day might bring. Every challenge is an opportunity to get stronger. I welcome difficulty as a chance to develop my character. Today's obstacles are tomorrow's strengths. I do not pray for an easy life. I pray to be a stronger person.
I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the destroyer of progress, confidence, and authentic success. Every morning, millions of people wake up and immediately begin to measure their lives against the filtered highlights they see on social media, forgetting they're comparing their behind-the-scenes reality to someone's carefully curated production. Epictetus taught, how many troubles would he have avoided who doesn't look to see what his neighbor says or does, but only to what he does himself? He knew that your only meaningful competition is the person you were yesterday. Social media has turned comparison into a 24/7 addiction. You see someone's vacation photos, and suddenly your life feels boring. You see an announcement of someone's promotion, and suddenly your career feels stagnant. You see posts about someone's relationship, and suddenly your love life feels inadequate. But here's what you don't see: their struggles, their fears, their failures, their private moments of self-doubt. When you declare, I will not compare my journey to anyone else's, you are choosing to run your own race at your own pace toward your own finish line. You are refusing to let someone else's timeline define your self-worth. You are recognizing that everyone has a different starting point, different resources, different challenges, and different definitions of success. Your journey is unique because you are unique. Your background, your strengths, your hardships, your dreams, and your circumstances are your own. Trying to live someone else's path is like trying to wear someone else's shoes. It may look good on the outside, but it will never fit, and it will eventually cause pain. The most successful and fulfilled people have learned to define success for themselves. They've stopped trying to impress people they don't even like with accomplishments that don't even matter to them. They have learned to be happy for others without tearing themselves down and to appreciate their own progress without needing external validation. This morning, make the commitment to live authentically. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. My path is unique, my timing is perfect, and my progress is meaningful. Today, I celebrate the success of others without questioning my own worth. I am exactly where I need to be on my unique journey.
I choose discipline over motivation. Motivation is like the weather, unpredictable, temporary, and completely outside your control. Some days you wake up feeling like you can conquer the world. Other days, you can barely conquer the climb out of bed. But discipline is like breathing. It works whether you feel like it or not. The Roman general and Stoic philosopher Cato the Younger was known for his unparalleled discipline. Even in the bitter cold of winter, he would walk barefoot through the streets of Rome to strengthen his resolve. He understood that comfort is the enemy of greatness, and that discipline is the bridge between goals and their accomplishment. He proved that you don't need to feel motivated to act, you need to be disciplined. Most people wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They think they have to feel inspired, energized, or excited before they can act. So they wait and wait, wondering why they never make progress on their goals. Meanwhile, the disciplined people are building empires, while the unmotivated are building excuses. When you say to yourself, I choose discipline over motivation, you are declaring your independence from your feelings. You're saying that your actions will not be held hostage by your emotions. You're choosing to be the kind of person who does what needs to be done, regardless of whether you feel like doing it. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger with use. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you add weight to your character. Every time you do something when you don't feel like it, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through on your commitments. The Stoics called this the discipline of action, the ability to do what virtue requires, even when it's hard, boring, or inconvenient. They knew that motivation comes and goes, but discipline creates the consistent action that builds extraordinary lives. Think about the most successful person you know. I guarantee they aren't more motivated than you are. They are more disciplined.
They have learned to separate their actions from their feelings and to tie their behavior to their values. This morning, make a powerful commitment. I choose discipline over motivation. I will act based on my commitments, not my feelings. Today, I do what I said I would do, regardless of how I feel about it. My discipline is my superpower. In the comments, type, "My discipline creates my destiny."
Gratitude will determine how I see this day. Your perspective is your reality, and gratitude is the lens that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. Every morning you have a choice, to focus on what's missing in your life or to focus on what's already there. One choice leads to suffering, and the other leads to abundance. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He understood that gratitude is not about denying problems. It's about recognizing the miracles that exist alongside them. Right now, as you listen to this, your heart is beating without your attention. Your lungs are breathing without your commands. You have access to clean water, a roof over your head probably, and you can hear these words through technology that would have seemed like magic 100 years ago. Yet most mornings we wake up thinking about what we don't have. When you declare, "Gratitude will determine how I see this day," you are consciously choosing to train your brain to notice abundance instead of scarcity. Neuroscience shows that gratitude literally rewires your brain, building new neural pathways that make you naturally more optimistic, resilient, and content. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring real problems. It's about keeping perspective. It's a reminder that even on your worst day, there are elements worthy of appreciation. It's the understanding that happiness isn't about having everything you want, but about appreciating everything you have. The Stoics practiced something called negative visualization, imagining the loss of what they currently had to appreciate it more deeply. They would contemplate the loss of health, loved ones, or possessions, not for pessimism, but to be grateful for what they had now. This morning practice will transform your entire day. Instead of waking up with a focus on problems, you wake up with a focus on blessings. Instead of a sense of lack, you feel abundance. Instead of obstacles, you see opportunities for growth. Gratitude will determine how I see this day. I will notice the good that surrounds me. Today I choose abundance over scarcity, appreciation over complaints, and wonder over worry. I will end the day better than I started. Every sunrise offers you a contract. Use this day wisely, and you will go to sleep richer in wisdom, stronger in character, and closer to the person you are meant to become. This isn't about making grand breakthroughs every day. It's about the compound effect of small, consistent improvements that turn ordinary days into extraordinary lives. Seneca practiced a beautiful evening ritual where he would review his day and ask himself, "What wound did I heal today? What flaw did I resist? Where can I improve?" He understood that the goal wasn't perfection, but progress. He knew that even a 1% improvement every day for a year would, by the end of the year, add up to an incredible transformation. This mindset transforms how you look at everything. A difficult conversation becomes a chance to practice courage. A mistake becomes data for future decisions. An annoying delay becomes a chance to practice patience. Every event becomes raw material for growth, not just something that happened to you. The beauty of this mindset is that it makes failure impossible. Even if you have a terrible day, you can still end it better than you started by extracting the lessons from what went wrong. Even if you make mistakes, you can grow by extracting wisdom from them. Even if you don't hit your goals, you can improve by adjusting your approach for tomorrow. This isn't about being hard on yourself or demanding perfection. It's about being intentional with your growth
and understanding that every day is a gift that should not be wasted. When you consistently end each day better than you started, you create a momentum that carries you toward the life you truly want to live. Your future self is dependent on the choices you make today. Make them count.